When it comes to getting lasting relief from chronic back pain, herniated disc, bulging disc, or even life post-fusion, you can't just use exercise. It's not gonna work. It's the fun, cool thing to talk about, but in reality, what actually gets people long-term relief is not looking at exercise in and of itself. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you 4 of the best pieces of advice that you probably have not heard yet, that doesn't just involve doing more core exercises, that's gonna give you lasting relief. One of the key concepts we're gonna talk about today is strength training and movement. And the most important thing that you do is do it the right way. Take the right steps towards using exercise, using the time in the gym to benefit you, not make your pain worse. And to make sure you are off on the right foot, I wanna give you a free gift. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. It maps out exactly how you should be looking at and approaching applying exercise to your painful body. You can grab that at fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. The first piece of advice I wanna give you if you're experiencing any kind of chronic back pain is not to chase the symptoms. That is a big misconception that you should focus on where it hurts. If your back is tight, focus on the area that it is the tightest. If your QL is locked down, focus on the QL and in the area of the QL that is causing the most pain. Unfortunately, when it comes to pain, it's not just a mechanical or physical thing. There's central nervous systems involved. There's emotional responses. There's a brain-body connection. And this can play tricks on you. It can send signals and pain and incorporate other areas of the body that will send you false symptoms or send you false ideas of what's actually going on. So instead of chasing every ache and pain with stretching or trying to target it with a lacrosse ball, leave it alone and try to give your body time to show you exactly where the key areas you should be focusing. The second thing you've got to focus on is eliminating as many triggers as possible. Stuart McGill is really well known for this idea or concept of, okay, if you have an injury, let's stop picking the scab of that injury, which is really important. If you know that there are movements in your routine, in your daily habits, whether it be your morning routine, your pre-bed routine, or your post-work routine, if you know that some of these things increase your levels of pain every time you do them, in order to create a healing environment in your body, it is best for a period of time to reduce or eliminate the majority of the excessive things that are picking the scab of your injury. It's a pretty simple concept that a lot of people just overlook. Hey, like, well, I like to work out, so I'm gonna go work out regardless of my pain. Or I like to go to the batting cage, regardless of the fact that the excessive swinging and the hip movement all causes pain once you stop the activity. One of the best things you can do for yourself is to take a step back, look at all of the things that you do on a daily basis that are picking the scab of your injury and try to eliminate them as much as you can. The next piece of advice that I was never given when I was in my worst years of chronic back pain was to focus on finding pain-free movements before applying exercise. Exercise is a stressor. It's a good stressor, but it's still a stressor on the body. So if you have a painful system, AKA your body, and you are really out of control when it comes to applying that exercise to your painful body, first, let's dial everything back and see if we can find some movements that your body actually likes. So for example, if bending forward hurts, it causes sciatica or it causes the pain that you experience to increase, what happens when you extend? What happens when you twist? What happens when you decompress? What happens when you go for a walk? What happens when you do basic body weight hip hinges? You have to look at movement first and see if there's some entry points into your painful body that allow you to be like, when I do that, the pain doesn't increase. Maybe it doesn't change much, but it doesn't make it worse, which is a good situation. Always start with simple. Always start with the basics of basics, and simple movements is a great place to start before adding the stress of weight and more difficult exercises. The final piece of advice I want to leave with you is to focus up and downstream from the actual painful site. I mentioned earlier that when it comes to pain, we have this biopsychosocial model of pain where there's multiple layers to maybe why you're experiencing tightness or pain or whatever you might be experiencing. So we can't just go at it from a, here's a location of pain, let's dive in closer, let's cut it out, or strengthen it, or poke at it, or whatever it might be that you're thinking is gonna work for you. Sometimes we have to take a step back, look at other areas of the body. Let's move these areas. Let's strengthen these areas. Let's see what happens when we start kind of poking around in areas that may not be as painful. What that does is in your brain, you're thinking, okay, like maybe this isn't as much of a threatening activity as I thought it was. Maybe moving my shoulders kind of gives my brain this opportunity to say, movement isn't dangerous. It's okay that I move my shoulders, right? It's okay that I move my upper back or my mid back, or it's okay that I twist a little bit. You start to see, okay, I can still move, I can still do things. It's not the fact that movement is dangerous, it's just movement in the specific painful area might not be the best place to start, which is why I encourage you to build a strategy, get help with a strategy that focuses up and downstream. Yes, it might take a little bit longer to get to the bottom of what you're doing, but you're accomplishing so much more than just specifically targeting a certain area. That's what the medical model does, when oftentimes the chronicness of pain can also start to spread out and it becomes such a big area that you don't know what to do or where to start, which is why I suggest not looking at the actual source and going upstream and downstream and working your way in. As simple as that advice might be, that has cost me thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of hours experimenting, testing, learning, educating myself around the concepts of pain, around the concepts of applying exercise and applying movement to a painful system. These are the things that your physio, your chiro, your doctor, they're just not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna teach you these things. You have to take charge of what you can control. And these small details, the things that we talked about today, only you can test, only you can make adjustments and make decisions based off of how your body is responding when you're looking at these 4 areas. If you think you're ready to level up your relief strategy and you want to start implementing more exercise into your daily routine, even if it's on a small scale, go to fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. It's a free guide that I've created just for you that you can dive into, learn about core training, how to apply it to your painful body, how to apply upper body strength training, lower body, full body, whatever your goals might be when it comes to being in the gym and building strength in your body. This is hands down the best blueprint you could ever find on the concept of exercise and chronic back pain. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.